Actually, I went over the to the private at Woodland yesterday. Did a little bit of work in preparation for a couple of months' time.
I'll tell you what, there's something wrong today with everything. Like my camera keeps going randomly blurry. The stream keeps randomly fuzzing out more than normal. You're obviously having to reset your account completely.
Yeah, I logged in on the Dubreys, and it was all brand new to me, all new colouring. Whether StreamYard have done an update to their site or something, but I was just like, oh, what is this devilry? So yeah, look, you've changed it as well. You've changed it to @. Oh my god.
Hi Les, hi Dale, hi Danny,
evening
hi
chaps,
Sherwood.
Evening Oi, you sexy boys, Les.
I am
lad. Les, I need to talk to you after this. Remind me, send me a Facebook message, mate. Your comments just reminded me of something.
I went to turn the stream and everything on, get it all sorted out, and friggin' Internet Explorer. So I don't like using Internet Explorer. Before anyone starts shouting at me,
no. Fine. Evening, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Oh, Sherwood Recon Fox. Evening, Dale, Danny. Yes, lads.
You're
still there.
Yeah, I saw Les's. Hi, Rage.
Oh wow, they all just appeared.
Oh, nice.
Boom.
Sherwood's currently rebuilding his WE M4 GBBR.
Oh, nice. That's quality. When I had the Colt GBBR from Cybergun, I showed it to my mate who's serving, and it's like the closest you'd get to the real thing. You can grease parts and chuck it in water. And
to be fair, you can grease parts on an AEG.
Yeah, but not to the extent that you can do it with that. You've got to be careful of like electrics and stuff like that. This is just like just taking a stuff. It's more lance friendly, that sort of gun, I think, because
more mechanical.
Yeah, that's it. There's no itty bitty parts. They don't agree with me.
You got any new purchases this week?
Oh, actually, yeah. Do you know what? I know I've got some new purchases. I've also got a bit of a gripe towards bloody Royal Mail and their opening hours for collecting parcels. Open from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. during the week. For someone who works nights, that's not ideal to collect a package that's been there over 2 weeks. So I've tried to rearrange a redelivery, whether that happens or not. But it was a prepper shop. It was some ration pack fruit in juice. I'm going to try to add some.
The massive packet of jam or whatever it was.
No, well, however, I did go for the 20 flapjack bars for $7.99.
Yeah.
So they arrived today, and they're quite cool actually. Nice little, rather than like long big chunks, they're like sort of half size of your regular flapjacks, quite big. So it's like a 20, it's sort of 10 regular size, 20 individual packets one. So yeah, they're really cool. They arrived just to add to the kit and sort of a little bit of a snack change.
Dale says Explorer shouldn't Foxtrot be using Firefox. Yeah, so right, to clarify, I've got...
Yeah, if you can direct all those sorts of questions to him.
So to clarify, I don't use Internet Explorer for StreamYard. So I've got StreamYard running on Chrome. I've got Firefox open so that I can run any kind of like, if we go to a website or whatever, I can just ping that up so it doesn't then show you all the links that I've got in Chrome. And then Internet Explorer, I have to run as a... what's the anonymous mode? The porn mode. So that that's running all Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube, etc. So there you go.
Sorry, I dozed off for a second there.
Prick.
Bitch.
Hi Reese, thanks for joining.
Incognito.
Yeah, that's it. They're not porn mode, whatever it's called.
Porn mode.
I bought this.
Oh, let me guess. Is it meant for basher poles to go in?
It is meant for basher poles. It is. Except I bought the wrong one because this one doesn't have any molly on the back to actually attach it to anything. So at the moment, not sure what I'm going to attach it to.
You could always put a kite in there, I suppose. Take it to the beach. Keep your kite safe.
Put a little strap across it and then just put my basher poles like some sort of bandolier.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, nice, mate. No, I've got the. I think I've got the standard ones, like the olive drab with a drawstring at the top thing. I'm still yet to.
There's a little tip I want to share with people, which is if you do buy anything off of eBay, there is a website. How long is that dildo, Reese? How dare you?
That's what's it? That size is what's that? A rookie size, Mike, isn't it?
that's just my weekend one.
Yeah. This is the
Actually,
midweek.
that would be quite an epic like scabbard for a sword or double-ended dildo if you wanted to wield that in an airsoft event. Just like,
oh well, you've got that attachment to show tonight.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Just with the clenched fist on the end of it. Oh. Oh, actually, there was some on the subject of actually when we actually stop talking bollocks and get into what we're actually talking about tonight. Hang
on, sorry. Let's just say give it away as a Christmas present, Mikey. I'm not just going to give away my stuff. Like I've literally just bought it, but it might end up doing that. So anyway, sorry. Just before you dive into yours, the tip I wanted to share: if you buy anything on eBay, no, for still would. There's a website called Top Cashback that gives you like
said Alan Partridge cashback.
It gives you basically like 1% cashback for everything you spend on eBay, as well as loads of other websites. So if anyone's interested in saving a little bit of money, I've had a bit of money come back from that. So it's good for car insurance stuff as well. But obviously this is an Airsoft podcast, so don't really want to talk about
keeping it real.
Cool. Anyway, sorry, what were you saying, Lance?
I've forgotten now. Oh yeah, what it was. So I've got a front. What the fuck's it called? Forearm grip Risrail type thing for an M4. The Picatinny bit. Can I show that with attachments on it? Because it's not a rifle.
I don't know. I don't know what YouTube's going to kick us off for and what it won't.
Shall I just run it past the screen quick, just so you can get a look and see what you think?
Yes. Oh no, that should be all right. Yeah, that should be all right.
Yeah, so I just thought I'd take some attachments off and put them on an empty Dubry because it's a bit hard to explain otherwise. So I've done that. Did a little bit of homework.
Cool.
All good. So it's a toy. Yeah.
Well, this thing's so for those that were around us, I think it was episode 3, something like that. We got kicked off fairly early because we got a rifle out and we got in trouble. YouTube told us off.
Mr. Marden back in the day wielding his weapon on the screen.
Yes. So this episode might go well or might not. So do you want to start with the front? Should we start with the front of the riff?
Yeah. Okay, go on in. Start with the front.
So my favourite thing that I've got on the front of my airsoft guns when I use them is this. I bought this in e-bike. This is the Angel.
Ooh, Angel.
It's the Angel suppressor or something like that. So it's it's just filled with foam. It's no different, to be honest with you, with any other suppressor you've got. I've also got a really long one. I thought.
What the fuck is that? What would that go on?
Anything you want. It's again just filled with foam. I only bought it because it was like I'm going to attach this to a pistol.
Hilarious.
And that's why I bought it, basically. So yeah, I don't generally tend to use that, but I mean, it's just a fancy looking suppressor. I was just quite chuffed with it. It looks quite cool. So
in the title or above, it's a toy, not a real gun. Yeah, what it is, mate, is YouTube won't allow you to display a rifle on a live stream. So you can upload videos with rifles in it, but they won't allow it regardless of what you put on a live stream. Facebook, you can. We can show it on Facebook because we stream to Facebook and YouTube. You know, we've got to be careful with the YouTube side of things. So unfortunately, we can't show any rifles as we are now. We could do a video and then upload it to our YouTube, but which is fine because it's not live. But it's very odd.
Which we will be doing in the near future. We're going to be doing some off live content stuff as well. But obviously, we don't want to miss out on all you lovely YouTube people. So.
Evening, Andrew. So yeah, but that's a suppressor fit in the scabbard for the basher poles, or is it?
Yeah, well, of course it would.
Let's get a comparison in size. Good God! So that's a substantial suppressor, isn't it?
It's a very substantial. I mean, yeah, it's that long. I don't know how that long is. Yeah, it's about that long. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Do fingertip to elbow. Let's be realistic.
There's a can in comparison. Okay. I mean, to be fair, it's the sort of thing that if you were going to run this, you would have one of the. It's like a classic M4 style where the heat shield goes around the outside. So you've got like that showing, and then you can have the heat shield.
Oh, so that actually is that the thread for that suppressor? Is that actually a few inches into the suppressor, or is it actually right on the end?
No, it's right at the end.
Oh, okay, right.
But you could you just have it mounted, so you have a really, really short screw thread.
Okay,
off the main body of the receiver, and then you could just have that on there. So
nice.
it looks ridiculous, but yeah.
Well, I'll show
LED
you. If you're doing that, then I'm going to show. This is what I run on my M4 all the time. So that is it's a modified suppressor housing, if you like.
Right.
If you can.
Oh,
but
nice.
what I've done is I've got the little Ace Tech tracer unit, which has got green sniper tape on it, which is a ball ache, so you're not going to be able to see it very well. But what I've done is, because I've removed the internals of that and just built up the profile a little bit of my tracer unit, it will literally just a nice little snug fit.
That was a weird sound.
And that screw on, and obviously I've got a protective housing for my tracer unit inside there now, so it's all still clean as a whistle all the way through. Blah 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 there, and it will screw onto my rifle, and you can't see any of the LED lighting at the end to show that it's on or anything, so it's not really a giveaway because obviously nighttime it's quite bright. So but yeah, that just sits inside there, and it just adds a little bit more protection to the old tracer unit. So that'll be on the end of the M4.
That's just the tracer, and not like a Spitfire or something like that.
No, that's purely just a tracer, and obviously it just so happens to be slightly too small for the internal, so that's why I built the profile up with some sniper tape, and it just sits in there. And obviously once it's screwed onto the rifle, that won't come off then. So yeah, and obviously I've done my little homemade yoke strap sniper suppressor cover with the old paracord and that on there. So that's 9 times out of 10 that just sits on the end of my M4 all the time, which is cool. I didn't take my suppressor off my my DMR, but there we go. So that's predominantly that is all I'd have on mine M4, and then all the other stuff is like my DMR suppressor on that is purely just for aesthetics. There's no actual suppression there at all, because it's an old neutral tracer unit, but it looked nice because it was the right length for the job. Absolutely. So then
what would be quite interesting to do is put like how you've done there, but with the Spitfire inside a mock suppressor unit, in that you get that, because obviously you get that bit out the end of just the suppressor.
Yeah, especially because that's a good shout, because obviously on the gas blowback it would sort of concentrate the stream of the gas out of that, rather than because obviously a muzzle flash is normally a bit bigger than what you've got there at the end of the suppressor. So yeah, you'd have a concentrated, perhaps. Yeah, that's a good shout, worth a try. Oh, and I don't think that Spitfire is much bigger than what that is, or probably the same sort of size.
Yeah, it'd just be interesting to try. I mean, I don't have a working Spitfire. The one I bought was a cheap knockoff, and it doesn't work. So,
we'll have to get Mr. Kettles on the case. See what we can come up with. Yeah, good stuff.
So moving down the rifle,
Once again, his internet is beyond brilliant.
I know. Do you want to talk about bipods?
Foregrip, yeah, I've got a real steel one here, which was given to me, which is the GPS grip pod system, standard British Army sort of SA-80 sort of jobby. Which you get your bipod at the bottom there. It's cool. It is cool. It's cool. It's a cool bit of kit.
Is that the plastic ones? Because I've seen this.
They are. It is
between the two of these.
It is like a plastic one, or a very heavy duty plastic one. But yeah, it's a great bit of kit, I must say. Grippod.com. That was given to me. Nice little freebie. But yeah, I have seen them. It's got a little Picatinny around on the side, so you can add a little attachment like tack light or something like that on there. But I'll just keep it nice, free and easy with nothing on it, because I can swap it from platform to platform without having to unwire or undo zip ties and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a cool little bipod and front grip for a bit more control out of your electric airsoft rifle, which is completely out of control when you fire it because it's pure kickback. But there we go. I've got that there. Did you want to do one of yours, or should I crack on with my mad scientist thing I made?
No, go with that. You can.
So what I've got
display sectional model.
So I've got the little front foreguard here. That little angular. I find that super comfy, rather than having like a vertical grip or anything like that, or holding the back of your mag well, which I used to do loads. I'll probably still do it now and again, to be honest with you. But I find that there, and must give credit to Mr. Marden on that one, is the old gas pedal, which he told me about. And I got one of them. I can't remember where I got it from now. He did send me a link to it, which obviously where I got it from, and I'll get that and I'll put it on our Facebook page. But that set arrangement there, so with your hand underneath and then your thumb resting on the top there, I find that super, super comfy to hold the rifle with. So your thumb will just sit on the top there like that. And yeah, I find that's ultra comfortable. So that's a nice little setup. Again, that's always on my M4, along with obviously the suppressor on the front, starting to build a rifle here live on TV. So that's that and that. And then I've got these little, again, Mr. Howell, Mr. Marden put me in touch with these because where I have my PEC boxes and like a tack light, and you've always got the cables and things like that. These little clips, the little cable organisers, I don't know if I can show them there. And what you've got is you've got little recesses on the side, so you can clip like little wires from your torches and stuff into them, and it just keeps it all that way, keeps it snag free, stops it getting caught and stuff. And it actually looks quite pretty cool. You can get different colours. Like you can get me black and tan and greens, sort of like make a bit of an effect on the side, which is always good. And this is one of the Picatinny rail guards I've got on my DMR. You can get them in, I think they come in packs of 2 or 3, and they just sort of like bulk out the side. And if where you're not using it, and also it's another good thing is they can be quite sharp against your kit. So if you haven't got anything on there, put one of them on there. It's a nice smooth edge. So that's a couple of the arrangements that I use on my M4 and on my DMR mainly. I've got very minimal stuff on my 249. It's mainly the DMR and the M4. I've got these bits and bobs on. But yeah, I'll put links to all these bits I've got here on the Facebook and on our YouTube if we can. So if anyone's interested,
I do like the angled foregrips.
It's really comfortable, mate. Yeah, I've got, like I said, I've gone through that one, which I rarely use now. I've had a couple of other little ones, and then when I saw this one, I think I got this. I think it's like 12, 13 quid on eBay. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't expensive or well-known brand or something like that. And I thought, oh, that looks. First of all, I thought, oh, that looks quite cool. It's quite low profile. It doesn't really take too much away from the shape of the rifle. I wanted to keep it sort of streamlined if I could. And when I got it and I put it on, I thought, wow, that feels wicked. It's only just slightly different to like a natural holding of a rifle anyhow. Do you know what I mean? So you're only sort of angling your palm down a little bit. But I found it really comfy. And then when Mr. Martin put me in touch with that gas pedal thing, I was like, oh, man, that's... Because you don't really know what to do your thumb then. When you're there, it's like, ooh, what's it doing? But it's got a nice little perch, little thumb perch there. So yeah, happy with that.
The angled foregrip as well. If you just hold it up again, you've got the there's the little drop piece just where. So you I'll come up from the back, and then you've got that front stop as well, which is quite useful.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
to rest on.
Exactly that, mate. Yeah, it stops you sliding off, and there's a lot more control there. Do you know what I mean? You definitely got hold of it if you like. Do you know what I mean? Which is cool. Yeah, no, and it's like I said, it's nice and comfortable. So yeah, I'll get a link to that. I don't know if it's got a brand on it, chaps, but I mean, sure, people can find them anyway. Angled front grip or something like that. You know, do 10 a penny sort of thing somewhere. But definitely the gas pedal.
Ask where you get the gas pedal from. We'll find out. I'll come back to it.
Yeah, I'll come back to you, mate. Yeah. I'm trying to think now whether it was patrol base. Controversial. Could have been. I must look it up. I'll let you know. But you could probably just Google gas pedal, and it is literally called gas pedal. JASPEDAL. It's written there. Gas pedal, rifle grip, or something like that. I'm sure it'll come up, chaps. But yeah, it's a nice little touch.
I have just Googled patrol base gas pedal, and it's come up. I can't unfortunately show it because the website's got loads of guns on it. So.
Is it on there though? Is it patrol base? Got it?
They are on there. Yeah, it's on patrol base.
Right, okay. It might not have been where Mike sent me the link to, but I'm sure I have seen them on there before. So
this specific one is a Magpul.
Okay.
Variety. So yeah, $17.99.
There you go. Andrew Taylor's just sitting on eBay for just over a $5.
They're currently out of stock on patrol base. So.
There you go. Right, Mr. Taylor's sitting on eBay for just over a $5. There we go.
There you go. So yeah, there's only really kind of 2 things I want to talk about myself from a foregrip point of view. So sometimes I use the occasional just clip-on foregrip. I quite like the quick detach ones. Reason being is that sometimes I find these get in the way. So literally, if I'm depending on what we're doing, tasking wise, it might just be if we're sitting around for a long time, this can sometimes get in the way. So just because it's the QD system, you just take it off, put it in the pocket. Job done. So that's that. The only other one I have recently purchased and I've been quite enjoying, if I can find it, is come in. I've actually got a screen to show you that doesn't have a gun on it, which is good. So I recently purchased this from Bespoke Airsoft, which is the Ares Amoeba M-Lock system, which is really nice. It's like it's a lot of sort of stocks and bits and pieces you can buy sort of plastic. So there's that kind of plasticky sort of feel. But I bought this one for the new DMR that I've got. Spray painted it up as well. The only thing is I wasn't really aware of what M-Lock was until after I bought this, which for a key mod out of barrel, which is what I've got, was a little bit of a tricky one to make work. Fortunately,
Mike, is that 2 individual legs? Is it, or is it like one solid unit?
No, it's 2 individual legs. So there's actually a picture of this on my Instagram if anyone wants to have a look at it. It's the one with the DMR sitting next to the M249.
Right.
I think we have to put it on the November Foxtrot Instagram a while ago. But it basically works along the principle. Let me just minimize that. So this is like the old one I used to have. It basically works on the principle that it sits either side of the gun like that.
Okay.
So it flips up out the way. So there's kind of a disadvantage and advantage in that the advantage is that because the tripod is sitting either side, it's a little bit more lower profile. The disadvantage of that is that quite often when you're laying on the ground, you don't really want a lower profile with a bipod.
Yeah, true. Fresh out.
So, but I have to admit, I do quite like these. The bottom of the feet on this actually pop out as well.
Yeah, mine are adjustable on mine.
Extends, so it goes from the 205 to the 310. And whilst I appreciate it's 40 quid for a bipod, I have particularly been enjoying that one. It's to me, it's worth it. But yeah,
fair play, mate. Nice. I've got to admit, I'm quite new to the fact that you can get just individual legs and mount them. Like,
yeah, I mean, you could have 4 legs and then you could splay them out, I guess, either side. It would just look like from Jurassic Park or something like that.
Just 2 at the back and just have it freestanding.
Yeah.
Just lay there next to it with the trigger. But you wouldn't be, because you'd be blind firing. You'd be down
exactly.
the sides.
Well, you could lay behind it.
You could do, yeah. Just with a bit of string on it. With a monocle.
Yeah, no, I say I've sort of toyed around with the individual bipod quite a bit. I do run on my GMP Stoner, just a normal bipod basically. It's just like this own little packet unit that you just pick a tinny on.
That's what mine is on my DMR. Yeah.
Yeah, I use that like a Foregrip as well, and it's starting to get a little bit ropey. The bolts and things are starting to sort of fall out occasionally. So
bit of maintenance needed.
Something different, and I've been looking at the clip ones where obviously the legs spring out underneath, because with an LMG it's quite useful if you can obviously just set up a firing position like that.
Yeah, nice. What you mean, like one of these?
Yes. Yeah.
I'll bring it along to Legion. Legion, mate.
See, my only other hesitation has just been you don't want to like. There is an adage of obviously buy cheap, buy twice. It doesn't always apply. You can get cheap things that are good. But when you're spending money on things and it's a bit of a pain to send back or whatever like that, it's just, sometimes you just want to feel something before you buy it and you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'll bring it along, mate. It'll be in the gun bag, so you're more than welcome to try it, see what you think.
Yeah. I've got some rail covers as well, actually. I was just going to talk about quickly. So I've actually got the... I've got these little low profile ladder type... I don't know what you call it now, like Picatinny rail guard or something like that.
Yeah, I use that a lot on my.
So these are quite good. They're rubberized. You can just cut them down depending on how long you want. The Picatinny rail sort of fits around the outside, so it just makes the whole thing just nicer to grab. Yeah, they're quite cheap. If anyone's
and again, they're good for as well because they take the sharp edges off as well.
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah,
nice.
So, do you want to talk about scopes and sights and stuff?
Scopes and sights and stuff. Yeah, we can.
I show off my pride and joy?
Go on, go for it.
So I have an Elcan Spectre DR.
Oh, I love that. Was that on the 2? That was on the 249 when I first met you, wasn't it?
It was.
At APOP. I was like, "Can I have a look down your gun, mister?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, this is wicked."
And I do absolutely love this. This is, to be fair, this is not the actual Elcan, as far as I'm aware. The reason being is that no. So the reason being is
no. So I'm just laughing at Les. You're still using the neighbour's Wi-Fi.
I'm not using the neighbour's Wi-Fi. So I think most of these are the proper ones go from 4 to 1 time zoom. So there's normally like a little switch that you can actually just flick between them, and it just changes the lenses within the unit itself. But this one's fixed to 4. And it doesn't have the little, I think you can actually fit the little kind of mini sight on top of that as well. But I'll be honest, I don't run this as much as I'd like to anymore because I'm so worried about getting shot out. That's the problem. Like, it looks so pretty and I love it so much. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to like waste it. But it's got the little light up red dot inside. So
I mean, it's a crystal clear image. I mean, it's a lovely scope to look through. It's really nice. I do like it.
I don't know how well this is going to work. I don't know what you can see.
Nothing, just black.
Naffle. There we go. But yeah, so 4x zoom. I don't really use that one, to be fair. I just really like having it. The one
You
I
need to
use
get a
the
screen.
most-
You need to get a lens guard, mate, and just the old flip-up lens guard.
Yeah, so I had one, but again, so with the LMGs, the problem is obviously the dust cover on the ammo, whatever you call it. I know we've had this chat before, and I still don't know the freaking name of it. The thing that goes on top of the gun that goes like that. If you mount that onto that, and then you think it just literally slams over and smashes this into the front of your rifle.
Yeah, but if you're gentle, we've had this conversation. We're repeating. This is it.
I
You were told to be gentle.
I know I was told to be gentle, but the problem is that sometimes when you're running around and you just need to fix something quick, you go, "Oh, let me just adjust something," and you throw it up, and it literally goes bang, smashing on the other side. And this wasn't cheap, and that's why I'm worried about breaking it. So, but yeah, the one I do use the most though, and this is literally I can't even. There's no branding on it, anything like that. This is literally I think it was like a 25 to 30 pound sight off of Amazon. It's not an ACOG in any way, but it kind of vaguely resembles one. It has a little laser on there as well, which I think most sites, to be fair, don't use lasers anymore. Would you agree?
What is it? Day to day in a skirmish using lasers?
I think even MilSims, like the red dot sights, the red dot lasers and stuff like that. A lot of the time,
I don't think you really see
more
them.
and more sites.
I don't know if you get I don't know. I don't know if sites have stop people using red dot or whether people just don't bother using them. I don't know. I mean, I don't really see them at night a great deal, but then a lot of the guys out at night time now have got the green eyes on with IR dots and stuff like that. So you're not going to see it unless obviously you've got greens on as well. So yeah, red dot. I've not really seen it for a good while. MilSim, I must say.
Rage has just asked if it's a real Alcan. So as far as I'm aware, it's not. But that being said, it does have all the trades and everything on it. So I don't know.
How do we tell?
I thought the real Alcans all were like 4:1 or 4:2 times zoom with the lever. So I'm not sure.
Couldn't tell you, mate. Not familiar with that. But although it's awesome, I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah. But yeah, so you know, in terms of sights and stuff like that, this is a 4x zoom. I think it goes up to 9. No, 10x zoom. This is so 2.5 to 10. I normally have this set to 4. And this one I've used for years and years and years. Like I've just whack it on, job done.
Yep, fair play, fair shout.
So, but yeah, I mean this one. I'm sorry, I will get it fixed. With cheaper sites, I'm less fussed about the lens being shot out because, you know, at the end of the day, I would rather kind of not sacrifice the clarity of what I'm seeing with like the lens covers and stuff because you get rain on them and things. It sort of becomes a bit of a pain. So, but yeah. That's
nice.
And the only other one I wanted to show off is my super CV Life scope. I actually got this cheap off a police auction. So this is a fairly large aperture scope. I think it is a 40mm, possibly. Doesn't say. But this has a lovely amount of vision. You can tell I don't really sell scopes. I can see lots. I can see lots. It's got a really good field of view because of just the size of the end of that. Again, if I just hold a can up.
Gaz, that is brilliant.
Spend less of your sights and more on your Wi-Fi. I will do. I'll get it sorted out. There you go. So that's the can in comparison to
that is an empty can, I take it, or not open one.
No, it's not open. So there you go. It's quite
nice.
Quite a large field of view on that one.
And that's what time zoom is that, Mike, on there?
This one goes 3 to 9 again. So to be fair, that one is not really too dissimilar to that one.
Right. Well, yeah.
It's just field of view, and again, this is a much better quality of sight. Just in terms of this one's a little bit blurry sometimes.
Okay.
Now I know people are going to tell me you could obviously change the lenses and the focal points and bits and pieces like that. But this one seems to adjust that randomly on its own, whereas this one seems to hold its course. So
Nice, fair play.
There's a little bit of a debate going on about the Elcan.
What was there? Hot news.
So yeah, so they do a 1 to 4 and a 4. If it was real, it would cost around 1,000. It would be as hard as nails. I'll tell you what, Rage. If I see you at some point, you can more than welcome to have a look at it and see what you think. I mean, it does have a serial number on it.
Yeah, we're not going to see that.
Sorry, it does have a serial number on it, but I don't know. Anyway, stop discussing my internet. I can't help it. I will get it fixed.
It is. It's particularly good this evening.
New Year's resolution. I will get it fixed. I don't know what the problem is, but I will.
No idea. You currently look like a Crime Watch mugshot. It's just pixelated.
How is it?
Oh yeah, that's why I said when you held up the serial number, I was like, yes.
Oh, okay. I seem crystal clear on mine.
Oh,
maybe
unless
I'm
it's
not
my
getting, like a true reflection.
Yeah, maybe, perhaps. Yeah,
you start talking about your sites, and I'm just going to go and see if I can fix whatever's gone wrong.
Yeah, I'm very much of the it's more of the aesthetics for me. This is my first ever site I brought when I first started the old holographic. I got that in Crawley surplus for about 60 quid. I don't know who made it because obviously it's been covered several times with paint since then. But that's usually goes alongside my little flip out site on my M4 like that, which is all good fun. He's drinking the poor man's Sprite. But yeah, that's sort of like my general setup for my M4. So I'll have that, and obviously that then can flip to the side, which is all good fun. Again, these are not expensive stuff, guys. I'll openly admit I don't buy expensive optics and things like that. Just not my cup of tea, really. These serve their purposes rather well for my engagement distances, what I want them to do, how I want them to look. So, if they get broken, they get broken. That's on me. But yeah, very happy with them. Really nice bit of kit. This one actually is crystal clear, and it's got really good adjustment on it for zoom purposes. Now I can tell you what it actually zooms to. And I believe I got it off of eBay. I did take some screenshots of a past order. 3 times magnifier, and that cost me 20 quid. That flip to the side one. And like I said, the other one I bought, this was 6 years. He's gone his back. 6 years ago now, and that was about 60 quid, 65 quid. You can get them cheaper. I think you can get about 35. But then predominantly for like daytime, I use them too. I've got my scope on my DMR, but I didn't really want to take it off because it's obviously sighted, so I didn't want to F around with it too much because I'll be knocking on Silly Gilly's door saying, "Can you help me? Can't see again." I did have it set up because when I first sort of ventured into the DMR world, I got like a scope and things like that. I put my scope on, and you'd think that up and down would be on the side of the scope, and then left and right would be on the top to turn left and right, and then up and down. No. So I had it actually mounted 90 degrees incorrectly.
Oh no!
Yeah. So when Ed looked at it, he said, "I've seen this so many times. Everyone who's new to it will make that mistake and have it like sort of." So he said, when you actually want to go left and right, you turn it in from the side, so it moves it left and right, and then up and down is rather than to the side. I was like, now that makes perfect sense. So we done that, got it all. So I mean, it's still sort of fairly zero, but he obviously got it bob on.
You're trying to zero it in, and literally you're like, right, I've got to.
Yeah, I'm just adjusting the left and right.
Going, well, why am I going left?
Yeah, I was like, what is happening here? And he literally just undone the scope attachments on top of the Picatinny rail and just turned it 90 degrees. He's like, let's try again now. He said, you're orientated all correctly, so that was all good. Yeah, so I've left that on the rifle, so I haven't got that here, but I have got the beast.
I say this is. I mean, this is just the be all and end all of attachments, so isn't it? The whole night vision thermal.
That's the thermal. So this is the Viper 2 thermal scope, which I picked up at the War and Peace Revival about 3 years ago now.
Was that a lot when you got that from?
No, I think I paid 5.5, maybe 600 for it. And obviously tried it out there, and I was sort of like blown away just looking at fields of people, just heat sources and stuff like that. So yeah, it was. It's a big old. The only thing with it, obviously, you can't put a perspex lens protector or anything on that, and you can't see through it. So the only thing I did devise was a very fine metal mesh, essentially like the end of a microphone. So it will go on the end there, just nice and snug. You can always add a little bit of tape to it or a Jubilee clip just to hold it on there for night time or during the day or whatever. And it just sits sort of proud. and it just takes the impact out of the lens there. I'm not sure if it's rated or not. I'm not
you
going to
can't use glass, can you, in any way? Because obviously
can't use glass,
thermal
can't use a
doesn't deal with it.
perspex. I've tried it. I've tried looking through stuff, and it just won't have it. It just all it does is reflects the heat source that you're
You just
creating
get a kind
back
of
at you.
caravan moment.
You get another camper van moment, yeah. The night of the caravan, or the night of the camper van, shall I say? But yeah, that's me bit of fun. That's my toy. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it was a massive bit of kit. I mean, compared to obviously some of the more modern ones now. Obviously, you've got to remember this is sort of relatively old now. But I've got I don't know. There's my vape, so it's not. I don't know. It's not to me. It's not huge, but to other people who haven't used it.
Vape is.
Yeah, I don't know. iPhone. There's an iPhone there, so it's sort of not too dissimilar.
Not
iPhone,
because Lance has tiny hands.
Yeah, got my little Jeremy Beadle hands here, holding it up, so it's not too bad. But yeah, I mean, I'm used to it. It's like I said, it's a wicked bit of kit. Yeah, I'm very lucky to have it. So that was a very sneaky find. That was.
Just out of interest with the War and Peace thing. So did you go? Was that like an early in the show purchase? Because they obviously run from like Wednesday or Tuesday to Saturday.
No, do you know what? Yeah, I mean, I think we went down there on the last. It was either the day before so it was either the Saturday, and it finished on the Sunday, or we actually went down on the Sunday. I can't remember for the life of me now what day we went down there, but it was well into it. So where I got this stand, I got this from, we're bringing stock out as they were selling it, and you know, it was quite a techie stand. There was all like Bowman radios and loads of sort of stuff like that, and I was just sort of looking through this table, and it was like, oh, hello, what's this, please? He's like, a thermal scope. Have a look at it. I'm like, yeah, all right. So,
yeah,
I was like, good God.
Negotiating. I have the power of the gods.
Yeah, I've got a bit of negotiating to do here. But it's a great. I mean, that War and Peace revival. You literally turn up there, no bag, go straight to one stand, buy yourself a Bergen with 2 rocket pouches in it for like 30 quid. There's your shopping bag for the day, and then just walk around the side, just filling it up. Fill me.
Well, to be fair, so I was going to suggest, and by all means, if people want to join us, that Lance and I will probably be at the next one whenever it is. So maybe we can have like a little no-phone meet up if anyone wants to.
Yeah, cool. Because they do camp. You can camp down there for the night or a couple of nights down there.
Yeah,
and all the shows in the
evening.
Just
camping. I just thought, just on the day,
you've got to have a bit of a barbie and a few bevies, haven't you? A bit of 30s dancing. Once see Mike up doing some Charleston moves, and yeah.
I might have to learn what Charleston moves are before we do the event. That'd be fine.
You've got to go.
Highly recommend.
The War and Peace revival, chaps, and it's at the Hop Farm, which is just the other side of Tunbridge Wells, I believe. Yeah, look it up. Yep. Hopefully, they must be doing one next year. They've got to. They can't not. I demand it.
I was
there you go.
Up.
Les is camping there next year, so it's definitely on. Nice. I think it's August time next year, chaps. So yeah, have a look for it, and we'll jump on down there and make a weekend of it or something, or at least a one day at least. That'd be good.
I always go dressed up. I like dressing up.
Is that red and white?
Anyone
polka dot dress?
Any of these episodes?
Oh yeah, because you're regularly in different outfits.
We're not on here. I've just been in life. Yeah, so no, I am quite jealous of the thermal.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's just a game changer, isn't it? Like, let's be honest, you know.
It is, yeah, and I mean, like a lot of people say. I mean, I've spoken with Paul at length about it, and that, and he obviously says like if he's lucky enough to have like the thermal and obviously the Gen 2 plus bits and bobs. And then he said if you had to choose one, you just choose. If you can only afford to get one, should I say, it would be thermal all day long because you can still navigate with it. Obviously, it's a bit of a ball ache. Obviously, you're presenting the rifle every time, and obviously looking down the sight to see where you're going in that. But you know, again, it's one of those things you'll get used to it. You know, and if it's what you know, it's what you know. Do you know what I mean? There's no difference to it at all like that. You know, so I found that quite easy to navigate around with. You know, you'll clearly get the outline of trees, trails, buildings, doorways, windows. Yeah, that'll all still show up on through the thermal. It might not be as crisp as through nods. You know, not sure, but well, certainly that one is. I've never put it in, so you can focus that. You can zoom in for further recognition on heat sources or close up or whatever you want to do. It switches from negative to white on black heat source, so you can have like the background darker and the heat source white, or the heat source black and the background light. Blah blah blah, all different bits and bobs like that. Zero in it and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's a good bit of kit. Yeah, it is good.
I do often wonder what would be like the next step change for Airsoft, because you know, thermal vision, night vision stuff is only coming down in price. You know, obviously the quality is improving. So like where the quality is improving, that's kind of moving the next like expensive bit on, and then the cheaper stuff, like the lower quality stuff, sort of coming more and more.
I don't really know where you'd go with it. I mean, it's obviously, has it got to hit a ceiling at some point? Possibly, I don't know. How far do you take it? How far do you take? Have I got that turned on?
Quad
No, it's a
nods.
reflection of mine. Quad nods,
quad nods, yeah.
Should be 360. There'd be some sort of relaying image now. You'll have like something like a reversing camera, and it'd just be, you'll have a 360 image around you, heads up display like a fighter pilot or something like that. You know, acquiring targets, just looking. That would be cool.
I mean, if you
a predator type. Predator type mounted, shoulder mounted,
just the
weapon.
Rifle comes out and it's just like that on its own,
and you, wherever you look, that's what I want. Predator mode. There actually is an airsoft Predator suit. I can't think whereabouts they made it, but the guy actually has got the camera that tracks where he looks, and it does fire BBs out of it.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like fed. You can, if you YouTube it, the airsoft Predator outfit, and you can actually see. I don't know whether it fires where he's shooting or whether he's got like a remote on his wrist that he can sort of like a little joystick, and it actually turns the. But it's a bit of kit, and I think it does actually fold away down his back. It comes out. I'll be like, oh yeah.
We're chatting it here. That'll be the next major step change in airsoft.
That's it. Everyone just running around as predators. There actually is. Having said that, there's a wicked team on Instagram. They've all got their own sort of custom made predator masks with the dreads in that. But they're like an airsoft team. Yeah, I'm a good big follower of them. I must look them up now. Yeah, look them up. They're cool.
Rage makes a good point that when digital night vision catches up, will be the game changer, as the price will be a lot cheaper. I mean, this is the thing,
definitely, mate, 100%.
Over the next 20 years, I anticipate that probably maybe 80% of the people, a lot of these kind of MilSim events will probably have night vision, and that's not, that's not saying that they're all going to suddenly get richer. It's just going to be the price point's going to drop on them, and it's going to be more accessible. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I mean, obviously, digital night vision at the moment, I mean, it does work, but it's heavily reliant on IR, isn't it? To display an image.
I'm not sure about it, to be honest with you. I'm aware of it, but I don't know the kind of lot.
I think like essentially you're looking into like a GoPro camera screen for the digital night vision rather than through a lens sort of type thing set up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I think it's reliant on IR heavily. Compared to like
see, that's the thing though. If you've got, I mean, this is deviating massively from weapon attachments, but if you've got a screen, then there's no reason why the camera doesn't have to be directly in front of the lens at that point. You could have the camera, you could have it behind you a little bit, or like on a mount above your head, so you're getting more of a field of view.
I see. So you mean have the heads up display?
Yeah, there's no reason the camera has to be at eye level necessarily. Yeah.
If it's digital, I'm sure. I mean, yeah, but then you're getting into the regions of you could have like much like a fighter pilot. You could have a lens with. I'm not being funny. You could have 4 cameras, small ones, with a digital feed to that all around you. There's, you know what I mean? There's possibilities when it comes to the digital side of things.
It might make walking a bit tricky.
Well, would it though? I mean,
I think it's be like walking in a third-person computer game, wouldn't it? But in real life, so you can't actually see where you're walking because your body's in the way.
It'd be quite, yeah. But I mean, I know it's just, yeah. But like, you can get like feeds from like drones and stuff fed into this head. Yeah. Oh, mate, that would be cool. That would be cool. Do you know what I mean? There must be something out there that's achievable. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Terry. Much like the Apache pilot. Yeah, you just get all the heads-up display on your thingy, where you looks, where it goes, and bosh, job's a good one.
Team mapping, again, this is deviating, but team mapping would be quite cool. There's a lot more of these apps and things where obviously you can get, like, I think it's like Blue Force Tracker or something like that.
Yeah, I've got one.
Your phone, and then you can kind of download one the other day.
What one have I got on my phone now? Ares Alpha. Are we familiar with Ares Alpha, which is I'll show you the icon I've got.
Very green.
Whoa. There, Ares Alpha. It's like white with 2 red sort of diamondy looking things. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. I was told to download it. I can't remember what event it was for, but I did. Never used it, so looks quite cool. The way you can set it up and that.
That'd be cool. Just a bit more allowing you to like communicate better with your team and coordinate, I guess. But I was wondering, because they talk about the Cyanix cameras. I've seen these. If you look at the Cyanix cameras, Lion Gear make helmet mounts for them, and they're a pro camera is almost Gen 2 quality, but costs £1,000.
Right. Okay. Silex cameras. And is that
I highly
is
recommend.
that a night vision nod?
No, so it's basically just a camera gear, I believe. Camera setup.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to just like make up like I know what I'm talking about because I'm not overly
No,
aware
I'm
of it,
very. I've got that, and that's all I sort of worry about. Team needs the actual work, I think. Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. We're deviating, Mike. We're deviating.
Yes. Sorry. Let's go to rifle. Oh, it's a camera. Yeah, it's a camera. I thought it was a camera.
Nice.
So, yeah. Let's talk about mounts or sling mounts. So there are 3 I want to cover. There's the one I bought a little while ago. This is just that little key mod.
Oh yeah.
Mount. Pretty simple. Haven't actually used it yet. It's still sitting on the desk. So I don't want to talk about that one too much. The 2 I do want to talk about are this system. So this is, for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. You might recognise that, possibly. It's basically a quick detach sling mount for your plate carrier. So the plastic tabs on the back, the plastic tabs on the back connect into your molly. So that then obviously fixes that plate to you. Yep. And then you end up with something like that on your rifle. And that literally just drops in to there. And that's then hanging off of that.
Filth. Where did you get that from?
I think Patrol Base. I was just trying to find the link for it myself, actually. There's a little retractable ball bearing on the end of that, so which actually aids as retention. So there's a little groove. I don't know if you can see, there's a little groove there.
Yeah.
So that, once it's in there, isn't really going anywhere. But
and how does that sit then on the rifle, Mike?
So, well, this is the thing. So I actually use this on my MP9. So I had to kind of mod this little contraption together to make that fit nicely on the rifle and still allow the gas blowback function. But this unit itself is just a little Picatinny rail again, so I don't know if you can really make that out. You've got the plate itself with the ball bearing, and then that's connected to this kind of U-shaped Picatinny rail.
I'm with you.
The only problem I had with this was that it did start to move about a bit after a lot of use. So I've actually used Sugrue to kind of glue that in place. So that kind of silicon.
So when that's on the rifle, then how would that, if you wanted to leave that hands free, how would that sit then on your chest, on your plate carrier?
It would literally sit bolt straight down
down like that.
Yeah. There's not a lot of movement in it, to be fair, laterally. So
I'm with you. Yeah, I'm just thinking if that was to sit at the rear,
loads of movement that way.
Yeah.
But
if that was to sit on the crane stock of an M4, though, like for example, say that was on the rear stock of an M4, is there a way of attaching it to that rear stock?
No. So this needs to be rail mounted.
So it's a rail mounted, right? So it's sort of perhaps right. Okay.
So I mean, potentially you could mod your rifle to put a little section of rail. I mean, you only need like little 3. You look at that. That's not a lot of rail there that's attaching with.
I'm with you. Yeah. So that could almost be used as a pistol holster, then, couldn't it? A free floating
pistol holster would work. I mean, to be honest with you, if you've got a pistol, I'd probably put it in a holster. If you're going to want to mount it on you, something like that. I could see this being used a lot more for tag launchers, grenade launchers.
That's a good shout.
Well, the Moss Cart.
Like Gaz has just said there, look, that would be cool on a battle belt for an SMG or something like that. Yeah.
And that's exactly what I've used it for. So I've used it, say, for my MP9. So it literally just fits onto my kit, just clicks in. It's not going anywhere. So yeah, it's an interesting little setup. It's a universal. I think there's also another one that's called a universal holster that is basically something similar. So this is almost like a little cradle at that point. Yeah. And then the equivalent is like a ball bearing that hangs off of the. Ah, there you go. FMA weapon link, they're called.
But
I'll find a picture on the website. So yeah.
That's nice. I like that, mate. Yeah.
That's one interesting one I wanted to share.
Life and Rage there. It looks very cool, but what's wrong with a sling? Absolutely nothing.
So this is the thing. I like a sling as well. The only benefit to that, say, is that it literally it's almost like a retention at the same time. So it's not like wafted about. The other one I wanted to talk about, I've lost temporarily. So give me a second. I've got to find it. just had it.
Yeah, no, Rage. I agree with you. Yeah, what's nothing wrong with a sling at all. I've standard SA80 sling, mate. For me, I've got one. I've got a desert one, which come with like the quick release little like Grimlock clips, metal clips, so you can clip them onto like sling loops or eyelets or anything like that. So I've got that on the DMR. Then I've just got a standard SA80 sling for my M4. I find them really comfortable, and I like the use of them. And I like the clip, the front clip, where you can just unclick it like that and let the rifle drop to your side. It's out of the way. It's outside, out of mind. So you can get to your secondary, things like that, or sling it around your back, or you can have it sort of like standard sort of 2-point sling. And I really like them. And they're cheap as chips on even like $5.99, $6.99, something like that. But yeah, I'm SA80 slings all the way for me.
So
nice.
This is a Viper single point sling, but the reason that this one's a little bit different to some of the others is that the T piece. This basically comprises of a quick detach clip, whatever. You've got a standard buckle on there, a section of sort of bungee in that bit, and then a variation strap that you can sort of extend or shorten. But the T piece on there, so it's actually designed to go over your shoulder.
That's very similar to the Osprey cummerbund strapping in it with the T-bars go on the side. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so the T-bar basically, it sits in the molly on your back panel, which means that it actually spreads the weight of the rifle over your shoulder. So rather than it just being a sling that's either hanging off the front of you, so for example, like the yoke point slings that are sort of attached about here. I really like these. The little quick detach buckle means that you can leave that attached to the rifle. I've got most of my battle kit, my plate carriers and the like have these sort of webbed into them.
Yeah.
And I use these all the time. Because these are obviously interchangeable, I don't have to take these off any of my rifles. So yeah, literally clip into those.
Yeah, nice, good shout. And you've had none of them fail on you or anything like that? They've always been good.
No, I've never had a problem with it at all. The only thing, because I used to run a 2-point sling with these clips on there from a cheap supplier. I think it was Airsoft Club, which is a Taiwan company. And I've actually had the top of this bit shear off.
I've had one of them go before as well.
Literally, that sheared off, and then the gun just collapsed to the floor, which I wasn't too chuffed about. But these, I haven't had a problem with the Viper ones. Ray's just said Warrior Assault Systems make one of those, Mike, that's a little bit longer than the Viper one, better for us bigger dudes. So I'll have to check that out. I have to profess, I haven't had a problem with this one size-wise myself, just because, I mean, that's sort of roughly the size I use at the moment, and I've still got that. And
is there any adjustability on that, Mike? So you can fully adjust that. So you could you mount the T-bar further down your back and then have the strapping coming up over more?
The total length of
oh,
that.
Christ,
so,
yeah, you've got adjustable for those there.
That's at my mid-back at the moment. You know, having it mounted up there. So it depends, I guess, on where you want it on the rifle to connect it to.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. I mean, I've tried the single-point connections
as well. These aren't very expensive. So.
I mean, I've tried the single point connections where it's been on your rig and that, but I've always ended up just going back to a standard sling. And like Ray said, there the old 3-point one, which I think it is. Ray just said obviously it's got the quick release buckle, which would be sitting at the front left hand side of the foregrip, depending on left or right handed, and then you weave it through the eyelet back on itself, then across the body into the rear, and then up the top when you've got the little tassel there, so you can pull that quickly to pull it tight or slacken it off and it will fall away. But yeah, I love that. It's a real basic sling and it's nice and strong. And like I said, you've got that, you can have it set so when you're holding the rifle up, the sling's nice and taut, but then you've got a little clip there at the front. You unclick it, and the male part of the clip will slide back up the sling, and it almost goes into a little circular bit around your top of your arm, and you can just let the rifle go then, and the butt will still stay there, so you can still bring it up to bear or let it go to your side. So yeah, I find it's a really good method. It works well for me. I've actually got one here. If you give me 2 seconds, I'll grab one, Mike. Hang on.
No, that's fine. I'm just going to share. I found a picture of the FMA weapon link. I'm hoping won't trigger anybody. So basically, it comprises of the 2 parts. So you've got the actual connection body. There we go. So you've got the actual sort of connection plate that sits on your belt or webbing or whatever. And then this is the little unit that actually attaches to your Picatinny rail, and then it just sort of hangs vertically off you. So SMGs, anything like that. I mean, I wouldn't attach a standard M4 with that necessarily, because it's just going to be a massive thing that doesn't really move on you. So Ray just make a point about what's wrong with the sling. Sorry, you dash. That's the the two parts basically. So
Oh, okay, cool.
the
Yeah,
little
like.
tan bit there is kind of the unit.
And then, like
itself.
and perfectly as Gaz mentioned earlier, you can see that top left picture there. It's where it's mounted on the belt.
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying you wouldn't necessarily use it for like a long rifle, DMR or anything like that. It would just be ridiculous.
I'll tell you what though, Mike, I'm not being funny, but and I know obviously if you're on stag or you're on patrol, blah blah blah, but just to get that little bit of relief for a few seconds, if you did have one on them on the front, say you did have one of those mounted just there, or as far back as you could, so you could just sort of just take the weight off for a couple of seconds. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
If you stood to or sort of a MilSim sort of guard duty or something like that, if you're inside a compound but you still have to remain sort of like even like a QRF sort of stance where you're inside ready to go, just be out. I mean, a sling would do that as well, but it's just that option there. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I think a sling would be better for that. If you're using a long gun or anything like that, but for an SMG or something like that you just want attached to you in a way. But as I say, I think the main thing for it is like tag launchers and Mosscart launchers and things like that.
Shotgun on your back.
Shotgun on your back would work quite well for that as well. It might be easier to get a scabbard with that one, just because you've got a bit of a hole that you can obviously put in. Whereas the little, I'm having come up with this, I'm now finding lots of reasons for not buying it. But if you've got that mounted on your back, you obviously have to try and get that into that thing. I mean, I've got it on my front, and I'm already struggling to just clip that in.
Yeah.
He's like quickly. So I mean, if it's something like lower down that's more accessible, you can see where it's going. It's probably not too difficult.
I think it's definitely ideal for the tag launcher, grenade launcher 203, something like that. You know what I mean?
Something small and compact.
Yeah,
that would work well. So
yeah, nice. Yeah. This is my sling. I use my DMR just more for rage than anything. So this is like an SA80 sling I've got, but it came with these two, obviously like Grimlock, but these are absolute nails. They are so strong. I mean, these are proper, like, retention on these is unreal. So obviously clip on the front of the rifle there, clip on the rear, up over your shoulder. There's your tensioning strap there. But this is the bit I was on about. I mean, obviously people are probably very familiar with the SA80 sling. It's this bit here. So once that's clipped onto the rifle, you can actually undo that, and this bit will actually drop back. And this is where the circular bit around your arm comes in. So the rifle will remain attached, but it will just drop to the side. And then obviously when you want it to be just a standard sling again, it comes back up the webbing strap and then just click it back in and it's back to the normal size. And they're such a good sling, really good. I mean, that's obviously just the two options you got there. I think my brother-in-law might have given me this, but they came with that, and I've not seen them with these on before. It's a desert tan sling with them on it, and it is a genuine sling, small arms, SAE, blah blah blah. I think that's 2005, perhaps. So I've got that one, and obviously I've just got the standard OD green one with the black who makes the Nexus? I think it's Nexus that do it for the British Army. The male and female clip. No good on a sniper.
Gaz says that looks like a tailored sling. We never got anything that Gucci.
Oh, there we go. It could be, mate. I don't know.
Gaz is just running around with a bit of rope.
That's it. Yeah, it does. If it works, doesn't it? Yeah. But then again, I've got several of these. Like I said, cheapest chips off of eBay, and nice and strong. Really solid bit of kit. Really good. And once if you don't like it, it's only sort of £5-6 you've sort of wasted potentially on eBay. So if you wanted to try one, chaps, I'd certainly give them a good look. Because there's plenty of chaps that have got them up there on eBay on offer. So
yeah, Rage, just ask where you bought them from.
Yeah,
so
just
again,
eBay, mate. I mean, if I've back Rage, I've got a few here, mate. So if you can get down and see me soon, I've got one here with your name on it, mate. If you want to give it a try, or if you're talking about Mike's one, then yeah.
yeah. I mean, if you talk about my one,
Mike could give you his one. So he's not going to use it now.
No, but I mean, this is, to be fair, this is what the podcast is about. Like that.
Absolutely, mate.
I've genuinely just purchased that just because I thought it looked cool, and it's just literally giving a bit of honest feedback about it. We're obviously not advertising here, products, whatever. But would I buy it again? Probably not. Let's be honest. Like, it's cool, and it worked for the SMG, but yeah.
That's what I mean. To be fair, I do use this one for my 249 and my DMR purely and wholly because it's got the two clips at either end. If I had to unthread it and then rethread it onto another, I'll just be like, I can't be bothered. I'll get another one of these. But it's purely because obviously it's the aesthetics as well. Because it's a nice dirty desert tan strap bit of sling. and it's got them quick release clips. It's just like instantly on clip, and then on to the next rifle or whatever you want to do with it. So yeah, and they're nice, like I said, they're nice and strong and nice and easy. So yeah, they're my choice of sling. I've got the single point ones and that, but I just tend to keep falling back onto these because it's obviously if you're not using that and you've got the single point there, it's another thing that's potentially sort of there. That, you know, Lance,
I sent you a message. Ray says the mount seems a bit. He corrected "daddy" to "faddy" to me. Consider use for launchers, but sling or pack works better for me than my tag launcher or carabiner. Exactly. And to be honest with you, it's whatever works for you.
Definitely personal preference. Do you know what I mean? There's massive I mean, you see the guys that have got the single point where it comes over each side of the plate carrier and sort of meets in the middle. See, I've tried that before and I didn't really get on with that too well. I like to keep it off to my right hand side. And again, that's gibbering on about anti-80 slings, but that's why I like it because you can literally just chuck it out of the way and it goes round to your right hand side or whatever hand you are, left or right. And it's out of the way and it's out of sight, out of mind. You can put it tight and it stays there, or you can sling it up over your shoulder and it'll stay there on your back, like muzzle down. And that's what I like about it. And that's cool. It's a nice little bit of kit.
As an aside, in terms of packing kit and stuff, do you generally tend to carry a spare sling with you?
In my gun bag, yeah, I carry. I obviously have that desert one there on whatever rifle I'm using or intending to use for that day. And then I've got one on the M4, and then I'll have a spare. So I'll have 3 on me. One for the desert one. I go between the DMR and my 249, and then I'll have another sling for my M4, which will just stay on there because I don't change it out. It just stays the same all the time. So yeah, but like I said, mate, they're so the cheapest chips. I mean, that War and Peace Revival, you'll probably be able to grab hundreds of them next year. They'll probably be £1 each. So it's worth.
If you ever want any of the classic Osprey pouches, there's one stand that usually has the kit, the black holdalls.
Oh yeah, the deployment bags and things like that.
Yeah, so they've normally got like a row of about 5 of those lined up with just this one's full of like the penknife pouches. This one's full of like the admin panels. This one's full of like standard magazine pouches and stuff like that. I mean, it's just. If you ever need any kit, you could probably just go to War and Peace with, I don't know, say 50 to 100 quid, and you've got yourself sorted out for pretty much most MTP MilSims.
Yeah. And there was a stand I did like last year. This is really digressing now, but there was a guy who was modding the British Army issue cot beds. So I was talking to him, and he said, unfortunately, what they do is when they get rid of them, they have to slash the tops for health and safety, so people can't reuse them and then potentially sue the army for going through it or anything like that. So if you get one, you can get the frame, but you have to have the top remade or something like that. So he was doing this new black mesh, breathable mesh, because the other one was like a rubberized canvasy thing that didn't breathe, made your back sweat. It was horrible. He's done this like black hammock sort of. It's got a lot of breathable material, and he's had like tailored pockets down the sides and stuff like that, and it all still folds down nice and flat, wicked. And he's that's just little stands, cot beds, supplies mattresses and stuff. So yeah, there's loads of little tricks of the trade and bits and bobs down there you can get, guys, as well on the stands and that, which is always good.
So this episode of November Foxtrot has been sponsored by War and Peace Revival.
Well, yeah. We look forward to hearing from you soon, War and Peace Revival. No, but it is. And obviously the displays as well in the arena, the main arena. That's great fun. You see all the vehicles and all the reenactors and all that really go above and beyond to sort of capture stuff like that. It's cool. Go just go to it. I'm going to stop gibbering on about the War and Peace now. It is good. Yeah.
So I don't know if you've got anything else. I mean, we could obviously talk stocks. I don't really have. I don't think I've ever changed the stock on rifle bar my M249 where I couldn't get for the life of me a battery to fit with the para.
No, he hasn't, Gaz. I've not seen him in person. So when I see him in person, mum's the word. I've got it. Don't worry. It's nice and safe. Gaz gave me a gift for you, Mike, when I saw him at the last at the.
Oh yes, he did.
Territory game. Yeah. So.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Cuts out. I'm back.
What about torches? What about sack lights and that, mate?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, we obviously did an episode on
stocks
torches.
Stock.
If you want to go into that at all,
I've got yeah. I mean, I've got this. I've got this. Oh, don't you fall off of there. I've got the D-Bal A2 for my night setup, which obviously I've not used yet at all. So I'm intrigued to use this. Heard some good things about it. So yeah, that was another little purchase of mine, which I'm yet to use. But like I said, I heard good things from Mr. Marden and Mr. the Chief. So spoke highly of these, so recommendation for them on that. And I did get actually as well, because obviously because my end nods are only Gen 1, I did get myself a nice IR flood, which does work a treat. And obviously that's a quick release as well, so I can change out to my night setup nice and quickly, just bosh onto the rifle. That's good to go. And I've got the little cable tidies already in place, so that just clicks in and that just sits nicely with a little pressure pad. Yeah, and torch wise, I've got the little this is the Surefire Scout, which is nice and bright, and it's nice and small actually compared to some of the other ones I've had. It's almost mini mag light. Yeah, it's almost sort of mag light sort of size, but it not smashes a beam. It's really good. Yeah, it's a nice, lovely little bit of kit this is. So yeah, not nice and
going
nice
back
and
to the deval.
Oh, go on.
Is that the WADSN Wadson deval knots?
Is that the hang on, mate? I shall tell you. I shall read. Deval A2 pass cage 01R1 pin number serial number. I don't know, mate. I couldn't tell you. Could not tell you, sir.
It's almost like we should have done some research on what we're not advertising, but what we're.
Well, no, like I said, I've not used it really, so I've not really looked into it. It's just it is what it is. But I bought it off a very reliable source, so I'm reliably informed it is a proper doobry.
Say who made it?
No, it doesn't, mate. Don't think so, anyhow.
GMP or Watson?
Oh, GMP rings a bell. Yeah, GMP rings a bell. Could well be that. Yes, I think you're right there. Raise GMP, mate. I'll get that confirmed for you. and on the side of that, I've got my cheeky one off of Wish. My little FMA.
Oh yes.
Pec box, which has never let me. Again, this has got to be 5 years old now, and it's just got the well, apparently it's got an IR flood and bits and bobs. I think it's just a little filter that goes over the white light, but the white light's wicked on it, and the little pressure pad. And what I like about it as well is that the cable's not too long, so there's not a lot of cable to hide and get rid of. Some of them I've seen it's like 2 or 3 times longer than that. But this has never ever failed me. It's a bloody great bit of kit. I think it was £40 off of Wish.
This is what I mean about the kind of the adage of buy cheap, buy twice, or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean,
it doesn't always apply. Like you can get some nice little.
I mean, to be fair, essentially, I've paid £40 for a Pec box, which is essentially a torch, but I can put a cover over the top of it, which would be that bit there.
It's got a laser on it as well.
It's got a laser. Apparently, it's got IR. It's got a red dot laser, which obviously works, and I believe the IR does work actually. To be fair, because I'm sure I tried it with my nods. Yeah, I think it does. But yeah, and like I said, it's even for £40 for a normal white light torch, tac torch, which goes in your rifle. That has never, and that's been out in all weathers, like proper all weathers. And yeah, like I said, it's never ever failed me. Cut the CR 1, 2, 3 batteries or whatever they are, go in there, all nice and watertight. Never had any issues with it whatsoever. So yeah, that's
Ray says, shame I have 3 WADSN ones which are really good. NV Night Vision sends them out with their rented night vision. I would have sent you one, mate.
Ah, nice, fair play, mate. Yeah, like I say, I'm not too au fait with the top spec Gen like 2, 3 accessories for night vision. You know, I'm still very new to night vision. I'm more with my thermal scope, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm yet to try it. But hopefully we'll get out under a nice winter crisp moon, and it'll sort of come into its own, which will be good. That'd be nice to do.
That's a good shout, actually, Rage. If anyone's interested in Envy, they do. I mean, I've not used them myself, but I have known people to use them. They do rental packages for night vision.
Oh wow!
Sort of bits of kit. So if you want it, hang on. Let me just. I need to make sure there's none of these websites have guns on, just in case. 2 secs.
Guns.
Right, so this is a full Gen 2 monocular package for £165. So it includes
package.
Bump helmet, ops course, shroud, Wilcox G24 style mount, J-arm, and the Wasden deval with IR laser.
Wow.
And
is that for is that a weekend package? Is it? I'm guessing is that for 2 days or?
Not sure. This one here. Full monocular package is $365, so $165 rental price and 200 refundable security deposit.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean,
Nice.
basically, you know, if you really want to run night vision or you want to give it a go before you,
Yeah, I mean, definitely that's a wicked way of giving it a go, at least, isn't it? To see if you're actually into it. I mean, even a Gen 3 package there for a long weekend. I mean, you know, yeah, nice. That's cool.
So yeah. To be fair, I was just looking at that. £365. So it's 165 rental price and then £200 refundable security deposit. That's £365 theoretically if you nab that night vision and become completely uncontactable. That's quite cheap.
Yeah, but we're not going to condone that, are we?
We're definitely not condoning that, but just as a thought. Finding the loopholes in the system there. I was going to say there's the malls as well. We obviously don't have a mall to talk about, but Rage, I don't know if you want to share a little bit more about the mall just to explain it. I don't want to like fudge it up basically. PQ15s and D-bells, mate. If you need one, just message him. There you go.
Nice, perfect. Oh, cheers, bud. Appreciate that. Yeah, nice, good stuff. Yeah, like I said, I'm very virginal when it comes to the night vision, but yeah. Evening images and that. So I want to try thermal. Andy Bob, yeah. Well, hopefully be able to have a blast of mine soon enough, mate. If we get to link up.
Yeah,
it's all good fun. It's all good fun.
So, if there are any last few questions coming through, whilst we wait for those, you can obviously contact us at email nofochat@hotmail.com. Instagram is at November_Foxtrot_Nofo. Facebook is November Foxtrot Nofo, and YouTube is www.youtube.com/c/November Foxtrot.
Oh, yes, please.
So if you want to get in touch with us in any way, feel free to do so. Next week, we're going to be having our Q&A birthday bash.
It is.
So we are going to be doing this on the Wednesday. We were planning the Friday, but unfortunately, I'm potentially going to be at AI 500 at their Dover Citadel game on the Friday. So unfortunately, I might miss that if it's alright. So we're going to be doing it on the Wednesday. So it'll probably be a slightly extended one. We might go on for. Are you working that night, Lars?
I will be absolutely working.
So it'd probably be an hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah, we shall see.
Yeah, it should be a good one. We've got some things to give away. Some little treats.
Indeed.
There'll be a few little games. Yeah.
All good fun. I can't believe it. We've nearly done it. We've done a year.
A year old.
You know,
that's crazy.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And thank you to everyone who's we'll save more thank yous for next week. But obviously, you know, it's been great fun. It has been really great fun so far. So yeah, long may it continue. I didn't expect it to do what we've done with it, if I'm honest. You know.
No, I'm amazed that we've lasted as long as this. To be fair.
Yeah, I mean, essentially it was to fill a gap during a global pandemic when we couldn't really get out and do any airsoft, and it was just like, well, how can we sort of keep in touch and, you know, still have a laugh and sort of be as close to doing airsoft as we possibly can. And obviously this was sort of born from it. So yeah, all good, all good.
There we go. On the mall. I'll just talk about it. Just close that. So on the mall, Ray says it's an IR aiming device. Pretty good so far. It has an IR flood as well as a laser, which not many airsoft devices have.
Nice. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I do apologize. I did try the D-Bell, and the only thing I found with it is that it's not got an IR flood. It's more of an IR spot, and it's a very, very concentrated spot for the IR. It doesn't give you a big mass of like a flood would do. It's very, very concentrated. That's the only, I did try it. I remember now when you just mentioned about them all there, Rage, that sort of tweaked a memory. So yeah, I have tried that. Obviously, the IR laser is perfect, but the only sort of critique I'd have of it is that the spot is a very small spot. Do you know what I mean? Very tiny.
Is that not an advantage though, or not?
It depends what you. I mean, if you've got an IR dot on something, you can sort of pick it up straight away. I'd want either end of the spectrum, so I'd sooner have a spot and a flood than a laser and a spot, because they're too close together. Do you know what I mean? For an IR laser, the actual spot you get on let's say on a hedgerow or a section of trees, it's not too smaller than what the spotlight gives off. So you've almost got two. It's almost two lasers. One's slightly bigger than the other. It's very, very concentrated. Whereas I prefer to have a flood, i.e., like for rooms or in like urban areas, like Longmoor in the villages and stuff like that, going around alleyways and corners. I'd sooner have a bit of a wider spreaded flood than I would have a concentrated little spot with the IR. Yeah, I'll get that, mate. Yeah, it's got a laser on it, but it's also got a spot, an IR spot. So, yeah. Just from personal preference, I'd sooner have a flood and a laser, or a flood and a spotlight, than I would what's set up on there now.
I'm just trying to. Andy's asked questions on Facebook, and Rages and then replying on YouTube. So I'm just playing in terms of sharing the messages between them so they can see them.
Oh, of course, yeah. Rages on YouTube, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fair play.
Cool.
Good stuff.
So last few questions. Andy said if I had a haircut. I did. I had a haircut yesterday. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes, sir.
Well, to be fair, I did try a mohawk, and then that got quickly shaved off. So, yeah.
Got quickly shaved off.
And Terry says you've done well just winging it. Yeah.
Nice one, Tel.
I won't lie. There is an element of planning that goes into these.
There is, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
as much as maybe there should be.
Start at the front and work to the back. That's what the plan was, and that's it. We stuck to it. Shut up, Terry.
Cool.
We'll have that medal back, I think.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. If there are, by all means, throw last few questions in. 5 minutes before. 5 minutes before what?
5 minutes before. Winging it 5 minutes before we started.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lies. All lies.
Brief.
Yeah. So yeah, feel free to join us next week. I say we will have some giveaways to give away. There might be some games, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, possibly.
Will
there be cake?
We haven't quite planned our birthday episode. I will bring a party popper. There we go. Rage, Andy's just asked, can you just talk? Rage, can you do a little demo for next week? If you can maybe, I don't know, put it on.
Shall we have a little bit of a listen with Mother and have Rage on for 5 minutes next week to go through his?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
do that.
Listen with Rage. Are we sitting comfortably and all that jazz? If there's no cake, I'm not coming.
If there's no cake, there will be cake.
There will be cake.
Obviously there'll be cake for me and Lance.
How I'm going to get any to you guys, I don't know, mate. But if you buy some cake, I will buy yourself an eclair and I'll reimburse you when I see you next.
I was going to make a point about next week's episode. It's completely gone now.
No,
what it was. So cool. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining us, and we will see you next week for our 1 year party.
Next week.
Have a good evening.
Good night, all.
Bye. Bye. Sorry. This is embarrassing. I can't find the outro video quick enough. See you later.
Good night, all.